Hello, welcome to Game 4 of the Medium Games Final. 6k has a 2.5 game to half game lead over Chattateo, so Chattateo needs to pull one out here. They're both opening with Exorcist, which is usually a pretty good opening.
I don't know, I see Remake at like a real 2 cost. And I'm wondering, should I go Remake instead?
Just like spam remakes into treasure maps and then buy provinces.
And it goes down Envoys are nice.
Yeah, there is not any draw other than Wisps and Imps though.
So there's Envoy plus Ghost Town.
Okay, never mind. There's infinite draw. I still like having. I guess you have border guards in that deck.
Yeah.
I
don't like the lookout though.
Really sad draw here for 6k. They've got to trigger what is a pretty bad shuffle without their Exorcist in it, and Chattateo had a nicer draw. Yeah, Ghost Town makes sense.
Also, Ghost Town existing is nice for just like put it into hand and then use the second trash.
Yeah.
Nice tactic sometimes.
So what do you thought on 4-3 to opening Remake Ghost Town?
Yeah, I like.
On 3-4, it could be Border Guard Remake.
There's no 5 that I want.
Depending on like what strategy your opponent is using, ill-gotten gains might be annoying. But I tend to agree.
I feel like I would ignore ill-gotten gains.
Yeah, between Remake and Lookout and Exorcist, there's a lot of trashing. Sorry, to those listening, I have some construction work going on behind me. If there's a...
I don't think that's
if my noise gets too much, I can mute myself and let H-Roll talk.
I don't hear any noise right.
Okay. I'm seeing it on OBS, but it's fairly low. Okay, they do take a remake, and yeah, I mean 6k is adding in actions. They seem like they're getting a little bit of their engine up and running. Yeah, I like the state into Ghost Town. Buy a 5, which could be... I think I just want more remakes. I rarely feel bad about having 2 remakes in the deck. Even if the 5 that I get, I turn a remake into is Treasury if they collide. Treasury is not such a bad card here.
It is a full card.
One of the things you want to do with Envoy draw is to make sure you have some cantrips that you can play as well to cycle back around. Yeah, but so Chattateo started it. Okay, we jettison the... So I don't think you really ever want to play the Will-O-Wisp first in that situation. I think you almost always want to play the Envoy first, unless, I guess, you're 100% sure that top card is something you need. And it was a copper, so... I don't know that it ends up making a difference here, but...
I think it'll give them money or a ghost.
Yeah. Alright, so in order for Chattateo's ill-gotten gains to make sense, they now need to gain a ghost, right?
Seems fine.
And have a somewhat sad. Ooh, why did they? Okay, that was a mistake from 6k. They have no actions left. They should discard the ghost town.
For sure.
You just take a treasury now, I think.
Oh, since you were gifted the ghost town.
Yeah, since you have the ghost town and two terminal, you want to take another terminal, and you want another target that ghost can hit. That's not remake.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, gold does not seem in the game here. Like you just you just keep gaining. You just remake silver and ghost town into treasure maps, and then like gain and play them if you really need golds, which I don't think you do.
Right.
I for sure would have taken a second ghost town there and added an envoy for 6k.
Right.
I
think they're trying to draw their deck in, I guess.
I don't know. And why are we what? I wanted to buy a ghost town this turn, like a ghost town, and turn the silver into an imp.
Right.
Because one nice interaction with Ghost is that often you're going to play your envoy and your opponent's going to discard your nicest action. So it'll be sitting in the discard pile for you. Now, unfortunately, if that's remake, you can't play Ghost, but Ghosted remake is one of the worst Ghost targets, I would say. I once played Ghost and it hit a tactician. Which basically meant like I'm sitting there. It's kind of like when you torture a discard down to 0 cards. I know this is going to end badly for me because I'm not getting a turn, but my opponent's still playing out their turn, and I think I just resigned immediately because it didn't seem worthwhile at that point. So does Chattateo have another action down there? Two wisps. I think they need to buy like a treasury that they can hit with this ghost. And this is going to be a huge turn for them with 2 ghost towns and a ghost coming in.
Then you play on the ghost town too. If the ghost hits something good.
Okay, well, yeah, gaining hitting an envoy is, I think, probably okay with 2 ghost towns coming into play, but they can look to maybe remake an envoy this turn.
That's fair.
I guess the way this game is playing out is pretty clear to me that I want 0 silvers in my deck. So, I don't know how serious we are about treasure maps, but we can remake copper, silver into treasure map, exercise a copper, buy the second treasure map, and have 2 treasure maps in the deck for next turn.
You know, if you have 4 treasure maps, and treasure map twice.
And then the plan is to play the treasure maps for golds, and then exercise some of those golds into ghosts.
Yeah.
I'm
okay with that, because they don't play now.
And you're up a full province, so it's not like your opponent is going to take a lead on you. Like all they can buy next turn is 1 province. And this deck does not seem built to province consistently, given you have to draw all 5 of those treasures to province. And we're going to make Exorcise Remake into Imp, I assume?
Yes.
Why not Exorcise the Remake if we're not doing tricks? They have a Wisp in hand, so this decision doesn't matter. Are there targets? Are there targets to remake, or are we just killing coppers? We've got too many envoys, right? You could remake Envoy into Treasury, kill a copper, and you kind of have to buy a province, right? Or you just spend 3 coppers and buy a province, but it's not super clear to me how Chattateo catches up here. Maybe just kill all the coppers, and then your plan to catch up is to remake envoys into duchies somehow.
Maybe you take a lot of like one of them into Ilgaki instead of Ghost.
Yeah. What do we lead on here? It's not obvious to me whether you lead on Wisp or Border Guard. Wow, did they bottom deck lots of stuff? Which means this turn's gonna be.
So it's like perfect.
Yeah. They bottom decked Imp Wisp Remake, I think. So here you always deny the cantrip. I assume.
Okay, well that's an envoy on top for the guns.
Yeah, which is nice. Exorcist's going into Duchy. The problem is just there aren't enough 4 costs in Chattateo's deck to make up the full extra province, the 5-3 province lead. This seems odd to me.
Is that good at some point? Like, there's no way they won't.
They really should have turned this remake into Imp 2 turns ago.
Yeah.
And they have their other Imp is at the bottom, but you're right. It seems pretty tough for them to. Oh, what's happening here?
They have beamed it. Oh god.
Okay, again, you deny the Wisp. If you deny 2 Wisps, then they can't draw. You could also deny Curse or something, but you're right. It seems like Chattateo may now have a. It really depends on how well Chattateo shuffles next turn. Is the entirety of this game. It looks like. Now you deny the gold. I guess is as good as anything to deny. But you gave them 2 Wisps, so they can just draw. But if you denied Wisps both times, then I guess they draw everything but the Wisps. So who knows? So we kill Curse Copper by province. Don't do the remake tricks this turn.
That sounds good. And then we can save it for envoys.
Yeah, because we want to be able to try to draw. Because we have 2 Ghost Towns next turn. We can try to draw. We can try to draw with one of the envoys first and give us a higher chance of seeing one of those 3 envoys in the starting 5. or actually starting 7, it would be.
Actually, this curse was kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean,
It's,
I think you would just take Duchy here if we didn't have the curse, right? But
yeah.
it cuts pretty significantly. It cuts somewhat significantly our chance of seeing the Envoy next turn. Yeah, so Remake, Curse Copper by Province. We've got a 2-point lead. And decent shot of winning next turn if they buy a Province. Yeah, so if they find an Envoy in the top 7, then they feel great. If they don't find an Envoy in the top 7, they feel pretty sad. Because I think this turn, you only need to find one Envoy, and you have a pretty good chance of turning the other 2 Envoys into Duchies. Again, the ordering here, I'm not quite sure. I think you want to play Wisp first. And yeah, 6k just didn't add. They needed to have added an Envoy to their deck, I think. They needed some more components.
This was definitely a tricky card.
It's mostly single game. It's to only turn 14, so like it's a fairly quick board. Yeah, see now Chattateo feels silly for having trashed last turn, right? They didn't need to have trashed an Envoy last turn. That being said, this is a very good starting hand because they've got the Ghost and the Remake in it. Is there any school of thought to just hitting end turn now, buying Duchy? Playing Ghost?
I mean, you're definitely gonna play the next Wisp now, right? Oh, wait, Ghost will cycle through it. Okay.
Yeah. I guess if you see the silver, because I don't think I'm even provincing here, even if I do hit 8.
Why not? Oh, you're afraid of
Ghosts. I'm afraid of ghosts, I think.
Province plus Duchy turn?
Yeah. Which is a losing tie.
I wouldn't. Yeah. I wouldn't be afraid of my opponent scoring 10 points. So I would take a Province if I did.
Yeah, as it is, they can't. They can barely hit 5.
Yeah.
Wow, that's some green cards.
Okay.
Ooh, I don't know about that. So do we... Again, we do Envoy Duchy by Province. Say, hey, we've got 36 points and 2 Ghost Towns in play, and our deck is pretty bad, but your deck doesn't seem to be that good either. It's tricky. I'm really not worried about Silk Roads, right? I think I remake Copper Envoy, and I only play one of these Ghost Towns. Because I want to try to get them alternating, and I can potentially remake a Ghost Town into an Envoy next turn for Ghosts to hit.
That makes sense. I think it's time to start remaking Duchies. Oh, no.
Okay, well, 6k is just resigning here, so nice win for Chattateo, and we move on to game 5.